Thank you for joining us. Welcome fellow Royal Roads graduates, alumni, family and friends, faculty, staff, and honored guests to the Royal Roads University 47th Convocation ceremony. My name is Negar Abedi and I too am graduating today. As a graduate from the Bachelor's of Business Administration program, it is my absolute honor to welcome each of you to your special day. This is a unique time, and although we can't be together physically to celebrate with each other, we will have an opportunity to participate at an in-person convocation ceremony once it is safe to do so. Here's a little bit of what to expect today. Today's exciting celebrations will include the installation of our new Chancellor and Chair of the Board of Governors, Nelson Chan, special congratulatory messages, a graduate message, and awards. I'm also pleased to share that Dr. Bonnie Henry, BC's Provincial Health Officer, will be joining our celebration today to accept an honorary degree for her magnificent example of leadership during such turbulent times. Following the conclusion of this formal ceremony, you will then be invited to your virtual graduate procession, which is where you will be individually recognized for your hard work. You will also hear from your faculty and staff who have supported us along the way. Thank you for being with us. Today is our celebration.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, to patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for
Dalston CM nes Jalaja nes Deacon Suits Ita al Hella Naquilia Deacon Sana Digital at Laquangan I Septum Tanguch Shatles Dia Jack School Out Nitla Shatles La Sisla Luchtela Isla Atlas dia tangoch tua aunax tua chalala dia haicha. I want to say hello, my good friends. I welcome you here to the Songhees and Esquimalt shared territory. Here where the university sits today, our elders used to live on this area a long time ago, but there's no more of those people that used to live here. I want to thank you. Haichka Siem.
Hello everyone and welcome. Mr. Chancellor, honored guests, faculty, students, staff, proud families, and most of all, the people whose achievements we are here to recognize today, our spring and fall 2020 graduates. It's my great privilege to join you from the traditional ancestral lands of the Kosapsan and the Lekwungen ancestors and families. This land has been part of the fabric of the life of Indigenous communities for thousands of years, and it will be long into the future. At Royal Roads, we have the very good fortune to learn and work in a truly stunning natural setting, a beautiful place where Indigenous and non-Indigenous students, faculty, and staff collaborate for positive change. I'm speaking today from the terrace of beautiful Hatley Castle. As fall settles in across our campus, the reds and golds of autumn are showing up a little more each day. Hopefully next year, our graduates can join us to celebrate Convocation together in this beautiful space. Graduates, you've completed your program here at a remarkable time in history. Imagine if anyone had come up to you a year ago and told you what your world would be like today. How we'd all be wearing face masks as a matter of course. How the phrases personal protective equipment and social distancing would become part of our conversation. How we'd see every friend, neighbor, and colleague as a potential vector of a highly infectious virus. You'd probably have dismissed it as fantastical. Yet, here we are. Our classrooms, our teaching, our work, this very ceremony are all profoundly different, all deeply transformed. Even the name of this year, 2020, has become a synonym for disruption and disturbing and bizarre events. Nothing seems surprising. Remember the invasion of murder hornets? So this is a moment of deep anxiety and uncertainty. But it isn't just that. This is also a moment that's ripe with the potential for transformational change. Think of how quickly we adapted as a society to this pandemic, how huge swaths of the workforce migrated en masse to working from home, how governments brought in sweeping income support and business assistance programs, designed in weeks instead of in months or years. Think of how quickly behavior has changed. If you didn't know how far 2 meters was on January 1st, you definitely know on November 6th. There are rare tectonic moments in history when vast forces align and portals of possibility open up, and you are graduating in the epicenter of one of those moments. Graduates, in a very real and literal sense, you were made for this moment. We have helped you gain the knowledge and tools you need to make the most of this opportunity for change. And I have every confidence you and your fellow graduates will do just that. Many of you will know that Royal Roads recently developed a new vision, the culmination of an intensive process of dialogue and consultation. And our new vision statement, inspiring people with the courage to transform the world, couldn't be more timely. Because you'll need that courage. The challenges we are facing are immense. This pandemic is the most obvious and the most pressing of them. It has claimed over 1 million lives with no end in sight. But it's only one challenge among many. The climate crisis has only deteriorated as we've grappled with the COVID pandemic. The fact that so many countries have foundered in the face of the pandemic starkly underlines just how badly we need to rebuild civil society and defend it from authoritarian and anti-democratic forces. The process of reconciliation with Indigenous peoples risks stalling at a critical moment. And I'm only naming a few. Yet, I'm hopeful. I'm tremendously hopeful because of you. And because taking on enormous challenges is right in our wheelhouse at Royal Roads. It is our remit to focus on complex challenges, climate change, rapid technology development, the crises of civil society. As you taking on big challenges out there in the world, we'll be doing the same right here. And that gives me tremendous hope that our paths will cross again soon. Graduates of the class of 2020, you've shown tremendous adaptability as we've met the challenges, large and small, of teaching and learning in tumultuous times. You've had a lot thrown at you, and you've handled it with grace and aplomb. And when I remember 2020, it's not going to be as the year of Zoom fatigue or baking sourdough bread or binge-watching Netflix. I'll remember 2020 as the year I saw class after class of Royal Road students rise to challenge after challenge. And I hope you'll remember it as the year that launched you on your career as the kind of transformational leader our world needs right now. This is your moment. To every one of you, congratulations on all you have achieved, and thank you. We are delighted and honored that you are present today to share in the installation of Royal Roads University's 7th Chancellor. I am pleased to present to you today Kathleen Burney, past Chancellor. Ms. Burney.
Nelson Chan is a chartered professional accountant, an experienced finance professional, and a dedicated volunteer. His extensive experience includes roles in executive leadership and strategy, business transformation, and tactical implementation in the public and private sectors. Nelson is known for his passion for innovation and teamwork, and for placing service at the center of his professional and volunteer lives. He is also recognized and appreciated for his financial acumen, his enjoyable and good-humored nature, and his openness to all that have the pleasure of working with him. During 2020, the university's anniversary and a pivotal year for our institution, Nelson Chan's impressive experience and action-oriented leadership are essential to our path ahead. Nelson joined the Royal Roads University Board of Governors as a Lieutenant Governor in Council appointee in 2017, and in January 2020 was elected to the role of Chancellor and Board Chair by the university's Board of Governors. He also has the immense responsibilities of being the Chief Financial Officer for the Capital Regional District, Capital Regional Hospital District, and Capital Regional Housing Corporation. Before coming to BC from Ontario in 2016, Nelson Chan served as the Director of Finance for Canada Post Corporation and on the Pension Advisory Committee of the Canada Post Pension Plan. He has also held senior roles at Roots Canada and the Canadian division of Sega Amusements. Beyond his role as Chancellor, Nelson is a member of the Board of Directors for Community Living BC, which serves adults with developmental disabilities and their families. He has also served on the boards of the Natural Capital Lab and the Government Finance Officers Association of British Columbia. He received a Bachelor of Commerce with a minor in economics from McMaster University and a Master of Business Administration from Florida Metropolitan University. He also completed the Executive Leadership Program at the University of Toronto's Rotman School of Management. Nelson Chan, we are honored to welcome you to your role in the Royal Roads family as Chancellor. It gives me great pleasure to present you to be invested with the Chancellor's duties and robes of office. By virtue of the authority given to me by the Royal Roads University Act as past Chancellor, I declare that the Board of Governors of Royal Roads University have, in accordance with the statutes of this university, nominated and appointed Mr. Nelson Chan to be Chancellor of Royal Roads University. I therefore invite Mr. Chan to take the oath of office and to be installed as the university's 7th Chancellor. Mr. Chan, the governors of this university have nominated and appointed you to the high office of Chancellor. Do you swear to fulfill the duties and obligations of the Chancellorship in accordance with the Royal Roads University Act, and in all ways properly open to you, to promote the interests and welfare of Royal Roads University?
Wholeheartedly, I do.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Royal Roads University, I install you, Mr. Nelson Chan, in your office as Chancellor of Royal Roads University.
I am pleased to extend a warm welcome to Mr. Chan on behalf of the university. I would now like to acknowledge the institutions which have sent greetings and congratulations to Mr. Chan. Carleton University, Queen's University, Ryerson University, Simon Fraser University, St. Francis Xavier, University of the Fraser Valley, University of Regina, and York University. I will now ask our new Chancellor to address his remarks to the Convocation. Chancellor.
I would like to start by inviting you to take a moment and reflect, if you will, where in your community you like to go to unwind, unplug, disconnect from the chaos of life, to get away from the concrete, the traffic, noise, and pollution. For many of us, it could be down by the ocean, perhaps enjoying the beach and water, a local park, or green space to take the kids. Perhaps you're retreating into the mountains for a hike or taking the dog for a walk. For me, Esquimalt Lagoon, spending time by the water, comes to mind. Wherever it is, and whatever peace you experience, for a moment, hold on to that feeling. When I do a territorial acknowledgement, I am giving thanks, recognizing and honoring the land which I live and play, in my words and in my heart. And in that feeling, I am giving thanks to the First Nations communities that have protected and been stewards of the landways, waterways, and airways we all enjoy. With that, I would like to recognize and honor that we are gathered together today to celebrate and share your accomplishments on the traditional ancestral lands of the Kosamson and Lekwungen people. Greetings to our honored guests, elders, faculty, staff, and of course, our spring and fall graduating students, and your friends, families, and supporters. It is an absolute honor to oversee my first Royal Roads University Convocation as Chancellor. I'd like to take a moment to offer a deep and heartfelt thank you to many people. To my fellow board members for placing this trust in me. To the chancellors who have held this position before me, thank you for your leadership and service. To the administration, staff, faculty, students, and alumni of Royal Roads, for all you have done to create this unique and dynamic community, poised to tackle the many challenges we face today and into the future. And most of all, to my family, for your love, support, and most of all, patience. The role of Chancellor has many responsibilities. Perhaps the most privileged is also my favorite, getting to congratulate our newly minted graduates. I know you've all been waiting for this a long time, so I won't speak for too long, but I would like to say a few things. Mostly, I'd like to talk about courage. Courage is the value at the heart of our new Royal Roads vision, inspiring people with the courage to transform the world. These are deeply worrying times, They are unsettling before COVID-19, and even more so now. Some of you may be familiar with the United Nations 17 goals to transform our world. The Sustainable Development Goals were developed in 2015 to promote prosperity while protecting the planet. They recognize that real prosperity isn't measured by economic growth, but instead by outcomes that will address a range of social needs, including education, health, and social protection, while tackling climate change and environmental protection. The onset of COVID-19 has made these principles more important than ever. Global progress towards many of these goals was already frustratingly slow pre-pandemic. Now we're hearing warnings that progress isn't just slowing, it's in danger of stalling and reversing. A report out of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation last month states, "We've been set back about 25 years in about 25 weeks. These are difficult, distressing times, and there's a very strong temptation to hide from it all, to hunker down, to close ourselves off from the world and hope for the best. I understand that impulse. We've all felt it. But it's not what these times need from us. It's not what the world needs from you. And everything I've seen from these extraordinary graduates in this extraordinary year tells me that avoiding challenges is the last thing on your minds. It takes courage in times like these to feel hope. It takes even more courage to take that hope out into the world and effect positive change. That's exactly what you've been preparing to do your time here at Royal Roads and the years leading up to it. So I hope you'll accept more than simply my congratulations for what you've achieved here with us, but also my appreciation for your courage and what you will accomplish with that courage in the future. The challenges are immense, and you are more than equal to them. Congratulations, class of 2020, and all my wishes for every success in your futures. Thank you.
Mr. President, Chancellor Chan, members of the Board of Governors, the dedicated staff and faculty of Royal Roads University, honored guests, proud families and friends, and most of all, graduates. I'm so pleased to be here today on the shores of the Esquimalt Lagoon at the jewel that is the Royal Roads University campus. I extend greetings from the traditional lands of the Lekwungen and Quisepsum ancestors and families and acknowledge this privilege with gratitude and tremendous appreciation for all that we continue to learn from the island nations we consider our gracious hosts. This pleasure is compounded by today's joyful occasion to congratulate so many bright and talented graduates. You are beacons of hope for our country and our world. I know your place of study, growth, and learning, Royal Roads, has shown you the transformative power of education. I'd also like to extend my congratulations to the university for its 25th anniversary. During these uncertain times, your nimble shifts have ensured you continue to deliver high-quality learning to students around the world. We're constantly aware we are living in worrisome times, with ever-shifting problems and immense challenges. But so many global events also remind us of the need for motivated people who have the courage at the core and know how to put ideas into action. The world needs you now more than ever. It needs your caring, your creativity, your boldness and your bravery. Above all, we owe you our thanks for participating so enthusiastically in the changing education that will help you move our world forward to a better place. I'm personally looking forward to the announcement later this program of the recipient of the Royal Roads Lieutenant Governor's Medal for Inclusion, Democracy and Reconciliation, which I had the honor of introducing in 2019, its inaugural year. I urge each one of you graduating today to always remember this place and time, the transformative lessons you've learned here, and how they ignited your mind and gave you the confidence to stride into your future. Take pride in all you have achieved at Royal Roads and hang on to the excitement of your next journey to realize new goals and aspirations. Today, we are so proud to recognize your achievements and equally excited to see what comes next for you. Convocation is not the end of the road of learning or of your accomplishments. It is yet another beginning. Today, we celebrate how you have changed yourselves by being part of Royal Roads family. Tomorrow, we look forward to watching you change the world. Heichka, thank you.
Hi, my name is Chris Shuchuk, and I'm a proud alumni of Royal Roads University. Today it's my privilege to introduce this year's honorary degree. It's the university's highest honor and awarded to recognize exceptional public good and distinguished scholarly, artistic, or scientific pursuits. This year the recipient is Dr. Bonnie Henry. I have the privilege to call Dr. Henry a mentor, a colleague, and a friend. She couldn't be a more appropriate honorary degree recipient. Dr. Henry lives this university's values every day. She is caring, she is creative, and she is courageous. And in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic, she never backs down in her unwavering fight to support people in BC. Our university aims to inspire people with the courage to change the world, just as Dr. Henry has inspired people to save the world. I was inspired by Dr. Henry every morning as she ends our meetings by saying, "Let's go save some lives today." Her contributions span much further than what you see locally. Dr. Henry is a healthcare leader across Canada, and just as Royal Roads aims to transform beyond boundaries, she fights globally with the World Health Organization against COVID-19. She cares passionately for the health and well-being of all people and fights unrelentingly to protect the healthcare privacy and human rights of every person she can. I've survived these past many months of the COVID-19 pandemic thanks to Dr. Henry's leadership. When times were tough, with a coy smile, she'd say, "Chris, remember, it's not my first pandemic." Whether it was fighting against Ebola in Africa, SARS in Toronto, or the opioid crisis, Dr. Henry has dedicated her life to lifting others up. Those of you graduating today were probably told to trust the process, and you probably didn't realize just how life-changing your programs would be. In my case, I can honestly say, Royal Roads helped me prepare to support Dr. Henry during the most challenging times of my career. I hope you're all as inspired by her as I am, and together let's use what we learned at Royal Roads to change the world as she has. So graduates of 2020, Royal Roads University has the honor today of conferring the degree of Doctor of Laws on the Provincial Health Officer of British Columbia, Dr. Bonnie Henry.
Be kind, be calm, be safe. Dr. Bonnie Henry, with this simple 6-word prescription, you calmed an anxious nation and showed us daily by your own quiet example that science does not preclude sensitivity, that courage is rooted in compassion, and that common sense is integral to the common good. Recently lauded by the New York Times as one of the most effective public health officers in the world, you have worked tirelessly to help British Columbia confront not one, but 2 profoundly challenging provincial health emergencies, an indiscriminate and deadly virus overlaid on a tenacious and even more deadly overdose crisis. You are a true hero of our age, and you have the cool shoes to prove it. Nothing could have prepared you for the exceptional job you have done for a grateful nation. And yet, in truth, everything did. Starting in grade school, when you declared your intention to become a doctor after visiting a beloved sister in the hospital. A daughter of the Maritimes, you graduated from Dalhousie University's Faculty of Medicine and followed in your father's military footsteps. During 10 years as a fleet medical officer with the Canadian Navy, you met the mental and physical challenges of special training to become a medical diver and flight surgeon. A decade later, you earned a Master's of Public Health from San Diego State University, and it was while working there in California that you once calmed a desperate gun-wielding patient with characteristic patience and empathy. Throughout your 30-year career, you have stared down myriad of deadly diseases. A self-described global microbe hunter, you helped fight polio in Pakistan and Ebola in Uganda before joining Toronto Public Health, where you led the operational response to the SARS outbreak and had a prominent role in the response to H1N1. You later served the BC Centre for Disease Control before being named Deputy Provincial Health Officer in 2014, and then in 2018, BC's first female Provincial Health Officer. In that role, you are esteemed for your unwavering commitment to patient privacy and public transparency. In fact, as a highly published medical researcher, you have the rare gift of being able to communicate complex ideas to broad audiences. Your timely book, Soap, Water, and Common Sense, exemplifies your deeply held belief that a well-informed public can be trusted to make well-informed decisions. It is no surprise that among your most recent honors, including the 2020 YWCA Women of Distinction Icon Award, you were recognized by the Canadian Public Relations Society with the President's Award for Outstanding Communications. Dr. Bonnie Henry, we welcome you to our Royal Roads community with deep gratitude for your courage, your wisdom, and your abiding calm. Thank you so much for your leadership. I will now turn it over to our Chancellor to confer the honorary degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Royal Roads University Act, and in accordance with the recommendation of the Board of Governors of Royal Roads University, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and honors here and elsewhere thereto appertaining. It is with sincere pleasure that I now call upon Dr. Bonnie Henry to deliver the Convocation address.
Thank you very much. Be kind, be calm, be safe. As many of you will know, this has become one of our phrases for the moment we are in now, for our pandemic moment. But what I want to tell you today is something more lasting, something I believe to be true, something that inspired the phrase in the first place. In the end, all we really have is kindness. Everything else flows from there. I think you will all agree that this has been an extraordinary and challenging year. And today in particular, as I stand here, I am struck by how most, maybe all, of our normal rituals to mark significant changes in our lives have been thrown apart and reassembled in ways that are barely recognizable. Everything from births to deaths, weddings to anniversaries, and of course, graduations. All these important transitions in our lives, along with the ceremonies we expect to mark them, have changed. Who knew when 2020 dawned that we would see so much change sweep the world, and so quickly? I reflect on that, on what I believe we have learned. This storm that has overtaken us has, in its upending of all we are used to seeing, exposed many things. It exposed that we are connected, a global community, in ways we perhaps had not appreciated or perhaps had ignored. And therefore we have learned that what happens in an unfamiliar city in China affects us. What happens in Iran affects us. What happens in Washington State and in Oregon and California and New York and Florida affects us. Sadly, our responses to this knowledge have not always been even and measured. This was also a revelation. We have seen responses defined by geography, poverty, politics, bravado. That the US and UK, supposedly the most prepared countries on the planet, struggled and still struggle, even as Hong Kong and Korea and Singapore weathered the storm. That people in Brazil and India suffered and still suffer immeasurably. Much of this took us by surprise. We have learned that we are all in the same storm, but we are not all in the same boat. Inequities that existed in every country, as well as here in BC, have been laid bare. Racialized people, Indigenous peoples, women, people with lower incomes have suffered more, not only from COVID-19 itself, but also from the measures we have imposed to quell this storm. Some of us had sailed through with battened hatches, while others have been cut adrift or tossed into the seas, clinging to a life ring. As Melinda Gates observed in September, this pandemic has magnified every existing inequality in our society, like systemic racism, gender inequality, and poverty. We have heard the term unprecedented used many times this year to describe what is happening with COVID-19. But these pandemics have affected us before, and the wise words of Heiltsuk First Nations elder Pauline Waterfall come to mind. She describes the devastating impacts of previous pandemics of smallpox, influenza, and other historic traumas to her people. To subscribe to this notion of unprecedented, she says, is to deny or negate the previous pandemics that First Nations people have experienced historically. This is not an unprecedented time for First Nations, who have gone through many challenges and changes that have forced us to be strong, resilient, and adaptive. It is indeed precedented for Indigenous peoples to be differentially impacted by pandemics, and COVID-19 is no exception. Our shared responses must acknowledge this, and we must act in the true spirit of reconciliation to overcome these inequalities. We have also discovered that our individual actions can make a difference, that taking the individual actions to keep ourselves and our loved ones safe are also the very actions that keep our communities safe. Every time we keep our safe distance, wear a mask, clean our hands, and stay home when we are ill makes a difference for those we love and for those we don't know. We in BC and in Canada have weathered this storm by doing our bit individually and therefore collectively. We have all benefited. We have done this by bending our curve, not the rules, by standing together and staying apart. And over time through these months, we have learned that crises such as this pandemic can bring out both the worst and, fortunately, the best in human nature. Through history, social responses to pandemics and disasters have included both these poles of human response, including sometimes a focus on prevention, anxiety, control, other times avoidance and denial. Sometimes flight and escape, and I certainly felt that in March till I realized there really was no place in the globe to run to. Sometimes blaming, scapegoating, and stigma, which we have sadly seen in our own province, from targeting of Asian Canadians to people with Alberta license plates. And other times, altruism, which we have also seen in people dropping food off for neighbors, caring for others' children, supporting our food banks. As well, we have seen that when we have many unknowns, as we did in January, February, and March, and even today, misinformation and fear can easily fill those gaps, fed by our own experiences, rumors, stories, and media, and of course, social media. We have responded in BC by recognizing our need for connection, compassion, and community, acknowledging that we are in this together and that it is our sense of common purpose that will build resilience to support all of us through this storm. And think of all that we have learned in these months. There are the new words and phrases that describe our lives now, such as epidemiological curve, contact tracing, non-medical masks, essential worker, recognizing it's more than healthcare workers or police, but also grocery store clerks and truck drivers and garbage collectors. PPE, bend the curve, lockdown, 2 meters, or as we still say, 6 feet. Social and then physical distancing. Our bubble, our safe 6, Zoom, and of course, the inevitable, you're still on mute. Quarantine, nasopharyngeal swab. We have learned the true value of toilet paper. We have learned that you should never ever do your own hair in a pandemic. And we have learned that in a crisis, words matter. The word kind matters, not just nice, but kind. When we use this word, and when we are kind, we are recognizing that we do not always know another person's story. Being kind means treating that other person with respect and care, assuming the best, as everyone does their best. The word calm also matters. It refers to our recognition that individual people's reactions to fear and uncertainty are different, and that fear can cause people to lash out in anger or to be paralyzed with anxiety. Being calm shows our compassion and understanding of others' suffering in this crazy and uncertain time. And the word safe matters. To be safe means doing our own bit and thereby doing our collective part too, recognizing that being kind and being calm keeps us all safe. We have learned that we can be resilient and adaptive even when it is hard, that social connections, even virtual, are essential, that compassion is stronger than cynicism, and that there is still joy and beauty in the world, even when we are faced with unrelenting uncertainty. In the words of Albert Camus in his novel The Plague, we have learned in times of pestilence there is more to be admired in man than to be despised. This pandemic may define 2020, but it will not define us, because we will go on to a different future. This pandemic and all we must do to weather it is not forever, but it is for now. It is our community and compassion that will see us through this storm. I know we will be together again. And in the meantime, our task for our future is becoming ever clearer. We must find the ways to build back stronger and more just. But for now, as we imagine that future from the middle of this storm, it remains our time to be kind, to be calm, and to be safe.
Distinguished guests, deans, faculty, Royal Roads staff, fellow students, family and friends of my colleagues graduating in 2020. I'm blessed to be here, to be able to share my message at this truly enigmatic time. There's no past I can draw from, no playbook in my hand that can adequately give voice to the urgent need for your leadership, your caring, your creativity, and your courage. And please, make no mistake that it does indeed take our individual and collective courage to transform our world. We are truly at a historic moment, an inflection point born of cumulative crisis and opportunity, pressures the likes of which many of us have never seen, a time where constraints are both present and evaporating, and opportunity is both discovered and discoverable, made manifest only by our creativity and our curiosity. The first time I graduated from Royal Roads University was in 1997. It was from the inaugural Master of Arts in Leadership and Training. How fitting that was for me personally, as I mustered the courage I thought I needed to make a major transition in my life, a leap from safety, familiarity, and structure into a world full of the unknown, a world where relationships were as important as knowledge, where networks of caring and passionate alumni support one another. A world where Royal Roads alumni connect resources to passion and purpose, who come with an open mind and an emerging holistic worldview. A network of alumni who are oriented to possibility and to optimism. The issues we face are at once intractable, yet also clear and present. But as espoused by Einstein, the significant problems we have cannot be solved at the same level of thinking which we created them. Our creativity is in demand. It's fundamentally necessary for us to apply our creative capacity in both individual and collective ways. Start small. Do your part, I'll do mine. Let's be in partnership. Think of others, those who you love and those who you will love. They need your courage, your caring and creativity. They need your courage and caring to do what's right, to protect our planet, to protect our public health, and to advocate and inquire about the ways in which we can lead by making others powerful. Today, I join you as a graduate from a unique program. In the Doctor of Social Sciences course of study, my knowledge was valued, my creativity was embellished, and my confidence nurtured. The program highlighted the fundamental importance of interdisciplinary and transdisciplinary work and knowledge creation in the service of a just and healthy society. Partnership across sovereign domains of knowledge and practice is essential to ensuring the success of whatever process or endeavor we're in. Partnership means you care, and we care. You care about what's important to others, and you also have the courage to put your needs out to the world too. So be a person who sees what's important to others, help support them and move them ahead in their vision.
and also be a person who puts your needs out to the world and ask others to help you move your vision ahead. But know this, whatever happens next, you're not alone. I'm not alone. With context always the moderating variable in our own personal and collective leadership, now is the time for creative exploration, transformation, and growth. I invite you to put your knowledge and skills learned during your time at Royal Roads to work in the service of a healthy, productive, and mutually satisfying way. We have greater capacity as a network of distributed leadership. Welcome to the growing network of Royal Roads alumni, where great things will happen through our mutual commitment to partnership in transforming the world. Thank you, and enjoy this special time in your life. Gather your courage, muster your energy, because soon it's time to be putting your learning to work. It's time to care to lead. Thank you, and congratulations.
I am honored to present the Lieutenant Governor's Medal for Inclusion, Democracy, and Reconciliation. This award recognizes one student who excelled in their studies and contributed to the life of their institution or community during post-secondary study, rewarding one or more of these activities: inclusion, democracy, and reconciliation. The recipient of the Lieutenant Governor's Medal for Inclusion, Democracy, and Reconciliation is Ho Ni Chung, who's graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Global Tourism Management. The Governor General's Silver Medal and Gold Medal, established in 1873, are two of the most prestigious awards that can be received by a student in a Canadian educational institution for exceptional academic achievement. The Governor General's Silver Medal is awarded to the graduating student who achieves the highest academic standing upon graduation from a bachelor's degree program this year. The recipient of the Governor General's Silver Medal is Jessica Page Zook, and she's graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Justice Studies. The Governor General's Gold Medal is awarded to the graduating student who has presented the most outstanding thesis or graduate project this year. The recipient of the Governor General's Gold Medal for Graduate Study is Kiana Reed Alexander, who has graduated with a Master of Arts in Leadership. Royal Roads University is so proud of all of you. Please enjoy this slideshow that celebrates you and this special day.
Congratulations, everybody.
Royal Roads promised to be life-changing, and it was. Professor Ann Dale, thank you for the unwavering support, and Jen for the final push. To Mom and Dad, Seth and Eva, this is for you.
We've done it! Thank you so much to the amazing faculty and staff in the School of Leadership, and thank you so much to my friends and my family and everyone who supported me through this amazing 2 years.
I did it. Big shout out to my family. Thank you so much for always supporting me, especially my husband. I never could have done this without you.
Thank you to my mom, my boyfriend, my friends, my classmates, my instructors. Thank you all so much. We did it!
Thank you to my wonderful classmates, especially to the Fields. Thank you to Mom, Dad, Renee, Eric, and Owen for your constant support. And thank you to my wonderful husband, Jason, for always being a source of strength. Congratulations, Class 2020. Mwah.
Congrats, leadership cohort, we did it. Special thanks to my husband, Chet, for your support. Thank you for everything that you've done. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to do this. My success is our success. Love you.
Hi everyone, I'm so grateful to be part of Class 2020, my Mahil cohort, the program area, and my family. I couldn't have done it without you guys.
I can't explain how much happy I am today graduating from Royal Roads University. Thank you so much, Royal Roads. We love you.
Graduates, families, and friends, thank you for joining us today. Once again, congratulations, Spring and Fall 2020 graduates, on your tremendous achievements. We ask our graduates and their family and friends to join us next for the online graduate processions and conferring of degrees to celebrate you, our newest alumni. You will be able to see your individual recognition clip, your virtual stage walk, if you will, and view special messages of congratulations from your professors. If you are watching this on our website, look for the link below for the graduate processions. There are 2 videos, one for the Faculty of Management and one for the Faculty of Social and Applied Sciences and the College of Interdisciplinary Studies. If you are watching on social media, the processions are each shared on their own post on each of our social media channels. So thank you again and have a wonderful Convocation Day.
Congratulations!
I want to send my most heartfelt and sincere congratulations to all of the graduates.
Congratulations to the graduating class of 2020.
Congratulations!
Congratulations, graduates. Well done.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Royal Roads University graduates of 2020.
Congratulations on all your hard work and best wishes for the future.
Congratulations to the graduates of 2020.
Congratulations!